Yo, what's going on, guys? We are back, and in this video I'd like to talk about something that has been helping me a lot lately. It's something basic, but you guys know me by now. I just love to go back to the basics from time to time because that's what shapes my fundamentals. So I always go back to expand on my current skills. But anyway, some of you already know this, but I started competing this year. I'm pretty new to the competitive side of Tekken. I've been playing in some tournaments, like on a smaller scale here and there, and one super important thing that I learned from these past few months along the way is that Tekken is a defensive game. Yeah, I know that there are some aspects to this game that doesn't really support these statements, like the super high combo damage, last movement, suffocating offense, etc., but I still think that having a great defense will bring us further than having a good offense in general, because let's be real, most of us already have good offense. It's something that's not very hard to achieve, right? But on the other side, having patience, punishing right, blocking correctly, things like that requires real practice and knowledge of the game. So these things can really set us apart from let's say the average player, right? So lately I've been slowly switching up my mindset when it comes to defense. Before it was try not to get hit, finish them before they finish me, but now it's more so try not to get hit, take everything they give me, and make sure I have more life than them when the time's out. So basically playing the clock and being more patient than usual, right? And don't overextend unless I feel like I really have to. It's such a simple concept when you think about it, but that has been very helpful to me recently. In my opinion, we should only take damage from 50-50 mix-ups and small low pokes, and just try not to get hit mindlessly and not give the opponent any damage without making them think a little, you know what I mean? But when we fully go into that direction, it can be easy to be too passive on defense, and that's where we can get rushed down, bullied, 50-50 to death, like you know what I mean? So it's really a balance. Like Tekken is really a balance of things. That's why I've been practicing something we call active defense. We might have different definition of what active defense actually means, but for me it means occasionally poking with safe moves, moving around the screen, and basically being quite active while fully focusing on the opponent's actions. The safe moves you are throwing out aren't really there to do damage, We only want to poke the opponent and get them to do something unsafe so we can punish. Keep out moves definitely fall into the active defense category. Sometimes when we are too passive, we are susceptible to getting rushed down, like I said earlier, 50-50 to death. So it's always good to have our keep out moves ready, So yeah, that's one part of what active defense means to me. The other part is movement. The biggest purpose of active defense is being able to create opportunities to get damage off of your opponent while defending at the same time. Sidestepping, backdashing, and basically being able to make whiffs happen. Now, the active part in this is tied into our move selection. If we want to incorporate more movement into our active defense, then the safe attacks we're gonna use are less than -4 on block, because then we have enough frames to move around, These are typically small moves with small reward, but the trade-off is that it allows us to move around freely and make a lot of things happen. For example, you can switch from defense to offense immediately if you want to, because if you are only -1 on block or maybe on hit, you don't really have to give up your turn, you know what I mean? Typically safe moves that give us more reward are so minus on block that we basically have to give up our turn, like for example Magic 4, UF to 1, down 4-3, etc, etc. But then we have down 1, which is, in my opinion, a pretty special move. Not only do you have enough frames on block to do anything you want, because it's only -2, you also have the reward on hit and on counter hit. That's pretty good if you ask me, you know. But of course it has weaknesses. It's easy to stab, it's a bit on the slow side, you know, 18 frames. So it doesn't really fit the small Tekken approach we are trying to apply here, but you can still slide it in there because of the reward it does, and also because of course it's -2, you know. But yeah, it's a bit on the slow side and it's quite sidesteppable, so that's why we shouldn't just throw it out mindlessly. Okay, just to recap everything I just said, active defense is keeping up your guard and annoying your opponent with safe pokes while fully paying attention to what the opponent does, dashing in and out of the opponent's range and using movement to avoid getting mixed, you know, as much as possible. And when we feel like they are trying to get in, then we use our keep out moves, down forward 4, magic 4, and maybe down back 4, you know, all the 4s. Oh, and DF2. How can I forget about the God's keep out move, DF2? Yeah, that's about it for today's video. I just wanted to talk about something that I've been practicing lately and share it to you guys. Hopefully this was helpful to some of you who are just like me, trying to get better at defense. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you next time. Peace.